101.3 FM, KRNG Fallon, Reno, Fernley, Sparks, Nevada, and surrounding. 101.3 Biggest Little Radio presents Jan's Small Business Spotlight with Jan Friend.
Okay, it's Wednesday. We're taking care of business once again. Sorry about the delay, folks. We had a little technical difficulty on the opening, but we can do without. You're listening to Jan's Small Business Spotlight. I'm Jan from the Fernley News Network. Find us online at fernleynews.com for all your breaking news and weather. To find local businesses and services, check out our business directory at fernleybusinessdirectory.com. If you've got a business, you need to be there. This segment is sponsored by Liberty Fitness, teaching strength through discipline. Call us with questions for our guest anytime through our live broadcast by calling 775-404-1115. Text us at 775-737-2344 or use the chat box at biggestlittleradio.com. Today, my guest is Vanessa Stewart, president of... Vanessa Stewart, president of ARGONN. ARGONN is a group of individuals that have come together for a common purpose of addressing and dealing with the very difficult reality of rapidly growing population of abandoned and feral animals in our community. This situation is worsened by the lack of ordinances within Lyon County and various townships within the county that would allow animal control to deal more effectively with felines. Their target areas of operation are Fernley, Silver Springs, Stagecoach, Dayton in Lyon County, Wadsworth in Washoe County, and Lovelock in Pershing County. Welcome to the show, Vanessa.
Thank you, Jan. I'm so excited to be here, and I really appreciate your inviting me to join you.
Anytime. Tell us a little bit about ARGONN, when it got started.
Well, ARGONN got started in 2010 and officially became a 501c3 in 2011. It was started by a gentleman who we call our fondly name our founding father. He was feeding a bunch of feral cats out behind Scolari's and put an ad in a local newspaper asking for people who may be interested in taking care of cats. Got a good response, and the group was formed. Through the years, we've grown and grown and grown, and today we are definitely an organization in the area that a lot of people know. They're aware of our existence. We're very proud of what we do. We have about 30 active members, which is unique for a non-profit such as ours. And we meet every 2 weeks. We're always welcoming guests to our meetings, and I'm just really glad to finally be on the radio and be able to talk about it.
It's exciting because a lot of people have this issue around town, or they're worried about animals or ferals or lost animals, and they need a place to go to or to call.
Absolutely. And that's what we're all about. We don't have a shelter per se, so we do work with foster families for taking kittens from an adoption or to an adoption stage. But our main focus has always been TNR, which is fondly known in the industry as trap, neuter, and return. It's basically working with feral cats to reduce the feral cat population as much as we can. And I must admit, here in Fernley, over the 5 years that we've been doing aggressive TNR, there has definitely been a reduction in the number of feral cats in the colonies that we've been working on. We see less and less kittens, and that obviously is the whole thrust of the program. But we also don't get as many calls from people looking for help with feral colonies. But I will add to that, if anybody out there does have a feral colony that needs attention, that they would like help on, please feel free to call us at any time. We would be very interested in talking to you.
Yeah. I've run across a couple of people that were in Walmart just buying cans and cans and cans of cat food because they care about these little ferals. So if they're not fixed, it would be a good idea to give you a call, and, because they're kind of fostering in a way,
right,
and taking care of them, but we don't need them to continue to.
Exactly, and that's the whole thing. And the scary thing is that a feline is capable of getting pregnant as young as 5 months.
Wow.
And over a period of 3 or 4 years, they can produce a staggering number of kittens. Obviously, in the feral world, not all the kittens survive, but those that do are just continuing with that reproduction process. And it's so sad because so many feral cats out there are actually not genetically feral. They're actually abandoned cats, people that have dumped their cats that have just run into the wild and just, stayed outside. But if those cats are not fixed, their babies are going to be feral if they don't have any human contact. So it's so important to try to bring down that population. And it's also a health benefit to a community if there are certain diseases, certain infections that can be transmitted by cats. And obviously it behooves a neighborhood to have a healthy cat population rather than letting feral cats just run riot and just reproduce and reproduce.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So I noticed on the website with your adoption program, there's paperwork. You're requiring certain things.
Absolutely. We are very proud of our foster families. We love to foster the kittens and adult cats that we get in. But once a cat enters our program, we love that cat. We take care of that cat. We treat it as our own family member. So when it comes time for adoption, we are pretty picky as to who gets our cats. It's not just a case of getting rid of these kittens as soon as possible to get some more in. Every kitten needs to be found the perfect home. And therefore we do ask potential adopters to fill out an adoption application, which gives us an idea as to what their potential surroundings are going to be in that new home. Is the cat going to be outside, inside? We want all cats to be indoor cats. Are they going to keep it safe? How many hours of the day is the cat going to be left alone? How many other animals do they have? Etc., etc. So that application, because we're not always given the opportunity to go to someone's home to see where the kitten or cat is going to be raised. So we like to kind of get a picture on paper. And so the application is a couple of pages long. Once the application is approved and you've chosen the kitten you want, we will then go ahead and do the adoption contract. Our adoption fee is $60, but that does include spay or neuter of the kitten at an appropriate age, and it also includes age-appropriate vaccinations. After that, the veterinary expenses are obviously your own, so we need to make sure that the family can financially afford to take on another animal.
And that keeps the kittens or whoever you're adopting out safe from people who might pick it up and use it for something that's not nice.
Exactly, and that's why I have this mortal fear when I see kittens being handed out at places like Walmart or 7-Eleven. My blood just turns cold because I'm so scared of where those kittens might end up. So wherever possible, we try to grab those kittens if we can and at least give them a fair chance at a good life instead of, as you say, being passed out for possibly nefarious means and purposes that we really don't want to discuss here.
Yeah, no, I don't even want to think about it.
No.
Don't even want to think about it. You also have a lost and found area that is that just within Lyon County, or how does that work?
We do have a lost and found area, mainly that is really put on Facebook. It's on our website as Lost and Found, but more people will actually view Facebook, and there are groups here in Fernley that specialize in Lost and Found. There's Fernley Lost and Found is one of the big sites here, and it is amazing what the internet has done in terms of returning animals that are lost to their homes. But a very big part of that is, please, everybody, try to get your animals microchipped, even if they are going to be indoors. Microchipping has some amazing results. If I can spend 2 seconds telling you a wonderful story that just happened. A cat was picked up in Stagecoach and taken to the local animal shelter. Sure enough, we found the animal had a microchip. We called the owner. He was absolutely speechless. He couldn't believe that we'd called him. His cat had been missing for 6 weeks. He lived in Sparks.
My goodness.
So the amazing part of this is that A, how did the cat get from Sparks to Stagecoach? But B, if it hadn't have been for the microchip, there is absolutely no way that cat would ever have found its way home. Because our local internet sites again, we advertise animals that are lost and found locally. He would never have thought of going into one of the local pages
no.
out here
No.
to find his lost cat in Sparks. So microchipping is huge. It gives me just such warm feelings when I know that an animal is returned to its rightful owner and it is found. It's just a great thing to do if you can. Microchipping is cheap, and it's
What does
it's
it run?
great. It's about $15 to $20.
Oh, that is cheap. Yeah.
Most of the big shelters will actually microchip an animal before they adopt them out. But if you take your cat or your dog to your local vet, they can do it very cheaply, and it's a lifelong treat that you've given that animal and a chance at a second life if ever anything should happen to them.
Yeah, it's really important. Well, with dogs, they've got collars and tags, hopefully. It's good to microchip them too.
Right.
But with cats, you're not looking at a collar, and a collar isn't really a good thing for a cat anyway, because they're climbing and they're jumping, and there's certain
Exactly.
things that they can get into trouble with when they do have a collar.
Yep. Yes, you're very right there. Breakaway collars are the only collars we recommend, but even then, if it's a breakaway collar, it's gone. And even dogs' collars. I mean, a lot of dogs are found without a collar. They dropped it, lost it, fought somewhere along the way and got their collar ripped off.
Or somebody picked them up and took it off and...
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
But microchipping is permanent. It's there. And it's an ongoing human identification for an animal that doesn't have a voice of its own to tell you who it is.
Yeah. Well, we do have time. We're doing okay. Okay. Just checking time because we got started late, so everything's off. You have 10 Commandments on your website that I thought was really interesting, because we're talking about these little fur babies.
Exactly. Yeah.
And they have a life of their own, and they need to be cared for and everything.
Right.
So let's quickly kind of go through and because I found it quite interesting, because of I'm thinking about lifespan and the cats that I've had, because they were a couple of them were indoor outdoor.
Right.
But, most of them, the first one here is, my life is likely to last 10 to 15 years.
There you go.
Any separation from you is likely to be painful. My critters have lasted 15 to 18 years, but maybe that's because they were inside.
Well, that's the whole thing. I mean, the better you care for your animals, the longer they're going to live, is normally the case. I have 2 cats right now that are just approaching 19 years old. And they've been indoor cats all their lives, and they're very pampered and very cared for. But the whole thing is, any animal is a lifetime commitment for that animal. And so many people, unfortunately, will adopt an animal, and things do happen. Lifestyle changes, accommodation arrangements can change, relationships change. People have to get rid of their animals for unfortunate circumstances. But that aside, people need to realize that an animal, any pet that you take on, is a lifetime commitment for that pet. And you need to be able to be responsible for that pet for at least 10 to 15 years. That's its average lifespan. If you can't commit to an animal for that time, think twice before you take on an animal, and wait until your life is perhaps a little bit more stable, or your living arrangements are a little bit more secured, before you choose to take on an animal.
It's another child.
Absolutely,
Really,
it
that's
is.
what you're...
Absolutely, it is.
The second one is, give me the time to understand what you want of me. These are, I don't know if you want to call them sentient, I do, but you have to understand them. They will understand you.
Right.
But you kind of have to do it with kindness and love, right?
And it's the same when you meet another human being. You want to spend a little time getting to know each other. You want to learn how that human being responds emotionally to things, how they react to things, and they want to know the same things of you. And it's much the same when you're raising a pet. It's, I understand you, but give me the time to understand what you want of me. Train me. Give me time, spend time with me, teach me what is important in your life that I can help you with. I'm speaking now from a cat or a dog's point of view, and take that time. It's really important.
Definitely important. Well, we're running short of time, but let's see if we can get through part of this. Don't be angry with me for a long time, and don't lock me up as punishment. You have your work, your friends, your entertainment, but I only have you.
It
That's
speaks for
important.
itself.
Yes.
It speaks for itself. The animal has only you.
Yeah. Well, let's take a quick break right now, pay some bills, and take a listen to our sponsor, Liberty Fitness.
Follow the conversation on our chat box at www.biggestlittlerradio.com.
Strength through discipline is our motto, and we can help you live by it. We are Liberty Fitness, and we offer a variety of classes for adults and youth to help you reach your goals. Contact us at 980-8096 or visit us at 888 Highway 95A for more information.
101.3 Biggest Little Radio presents Jan's Small Business Spotlight with Jan Friend.
Well, welcome back. This segment is brought to you by Liberty Fitness. We're talking to Vanessa, who's with ARGONN. If you have any questions for Vanessa, call us here at 775-404-1115. Send a text to 775-737-2344 or use the chat box at biggestlittlerradio.com. We were talking about the 10 Commandments of pets, but I'm going to switch gears a little bit here and talk about the big give that you have going. This is it used to be a one-day event, right?
Right. We're hugely excited this year to actually be a part of Nevada's Big Give. Nevada's Big Give has been going on about 7 years. It's Southern Nevada based, but they've been trying to encourage Northern Nevada organizations to be part of it, and we're just loving being part of it. It offers, by their tagline, which is Give Where You Live, it has two huge impacts. First of all, you are supporting a local organization where the money is going to remain local within your community, in this case, Northern Lyon County. And the second big thing is that you can literally sit in the comfort of your own armchair at home and go on your internet and give to the organization of your choice. There's very little effort involved in your part, and it's just a wonderful opportunity to be part of a huge Nevada event that raises hundreds of thousands of dollars for organizations all over the state. And we're just thrilled to be part of it this year. This is our first year in the Nevada Big Give. We're targeting $5,000, and every single penny of that money is going to go to spay and neutering and paying veterinary bills for our rescued kitty cats and our TNR program. So please have a look at it. Go onto our website, go into Facebook, onto our page there, which is Animal Rescue Group of Northern Nevada. Hit on the donate buttons and give where you live. We would really appreciate that.
And it's really, really nice that it stays. More and more entities out there are keeping everything local, which helps a lot.
You know, and that's huge. I live myself locally. We're a local group. We're based here in Fernley. I, for one, try as far as possible to support local business. I have a full-time job, and when that job requires me to bring in servicemen of any sort or contractors, I try to look for somebody local to do the work before I go outside, because I believe that our local communities are just that important, and we need to help each other. We need to support each other. We rely on each other for success. And over the past 6 years, I mean, this community, particularly here in Fernley, has been extremely supportive of ARGONN, and we are so appreciative of everything that this community has done. But this is just another step in the ongoing process of getting more internet awareness and internet friendly. So please consider the Nevada Big Give this year and consider ARGONN as part of it.
Now, when they want to go onto the website itself,
Right.
it's an org? What's the website?
Our website is www.argonn.org. On the homepage of our website is a donate button there under the Nevada Big Give logo. That's one place that you can go. Otherwise, go into Facebook. A lot of people here I know are very active on Facebook. Go to Animal Rescue Group of Northern Nevada and go to the Nevada Big Give logo, hit on that, and our name will pop right up. And there's a donate button right there on the screen for you to choose the amount that you want to give. And pledge it right there and then. And the event ends at midnight tomorrow night. In the past, this event has been just a one-day telethon, but this year they changed the format a little bit, and donations have been coming in since the 23rd of February. But tomorrow is kind of the day. It's the final day. It's the big day. It's the big push. Big drive. So it all ends at midnight tomorrow night, and cash will be counted and totaled. And there are opportunities for us to win prizes from Nevada Big Give. So we would love nothing more than to be part of the development of Nevada Big Give in northern Nevada. That would mean a lot to us, and our animals would certainly appreciate every penny.
Yeah, it's all for them.
Yep,
It's
that's all
for
it's
them.
for.
Now the correct spelling to that is ARGONN.
Yes,
right?
Argonn Animal Rescue Group of Northern Nevada. We're commonly known as Argonn, and it's actually Nevada's Big Give. So it's powered by United Way, and it's sponsored by Razoo. But it's Nevada's Big Give is the big thing. You may have seen their logo around. Once you go into the site, you'll immediately recognize the logo. I'm sure they have been talking about it on television and radio. So tomorrow's the day.
Tomorrow's the day.
Yep.
But you can continue to give after that, right? Or there's
The
donation
Nevada-
button on your
absolutely.
site, or
Absolutely. If tomorrow doesn't work for you, we are always very, very, very grateful for any donations received. You can always go to our Facebook page. We are a verified Facebook page, and we do have a donation button right there. You can donate through a PayPal account on our website. So there are various avenues of donation. And of course, you can always send a check. Nothing like old-fashioned snail mail. It still works great.
Yeah. Now, are there other things that would work, kitty trees or food or anything to that nature, or does that go over to the volunteers who are actually taking care and fostering?
You know, we love to receive donations of pet beds and food and all kinds of supplies, even down to baby wipes and, amazingly enough, Gerber baby food. Kittens will eat Gerber baby food if it's meat-based. So any of those things are always gratefully accepted, and they are distributed amongst our foster families, because our foster families primarily do pay the expenses of taking care of their kittens. They buy most of the food that they need. We cover the veterinary costs, which is why we do all the fundraising. But our foster families always appreciate extra toys and extra things to entertain their kitties with and raise them into great cats.
How many foster families are out there do we have locally?
We have, at the moment, 8 foster families. The numbers tend to go up and down as people come and go and seasons change and things like that. But at the moment, we have pretty much 8 stable foster families that are ready and willing and able to take in the kittens that come for our help.
And then not only just taking them and feeding them, a lot of these little ones, that they found the kittens, or maybe they don't know where the mommy is, or they have to be bottle fed too.
Exactly. And bottle raising is a whole nother part of what we do. We have one particular foster family that specializes in bottle raising, and she's bottle raised hundreds of kittens through her career. She does an excellent job. But yes, and again, supplies for bottle raising. So anything like that is always welcome. Thank you. Yep.
Yeah. So what kind of success stories can you think of that just kind of make you smile?
Oh my gosh.
You probably have a lot of them, right?
I have so many success stories. In fact, really and truly, every single kitten that comes through the door that we can successfully put into a great permanent forever home is a success story in its own. It really is. We have some amazing stories that just come to mind. One was a beautiful white cat that was found by someone here in Fernley. His name was Divot, and he was brought to us in really bad shape. He was really emaciated. He was hungry. He obviously hadn't eaten for a while. He was not a young cat. We took him in, we got him back to health, we paid some vet bills to get him back on his feet, and an amazing family came forward and adopted him, and that was just so nice to see, because, a lot of people always want kittens, and it's kittens, but adult cats need those forever loving homes just as much as kittens do, and it's a lot harder to adopt out adult cats.
Yeah.
So we also talk to people about age things. I mean, when you get into your senior years, sometimes you can't keep up with a kitten, you don't want to keep up with a kitten, it's a great time to consider adopting an adult cat, because you also don't want that kitty to outlive you by a number of years. So an adult cat can be a wonderful companion for a senior person. And I'm saying senior even from kind of the 60s onwards, which is where we all are, and, or where a lot of us are. But those adult cats need great homes too. So
Yeah, and then they're a lot older kitties or senior kitties. You know, they may be set in their ways, but they're kind of easier to read, and they do understand words.
Absolutely they do. Absolutely they do. And they settle in a lot faster. And again, if we've had them in foster for any length of time, we can pretty much tell you whether they're going to get along with dogs, whether they get along with other cats, whether they want to be an only cat. And obviously they'd be spayed or neutered before you ever took them in, even if they weren't when we got them. But we can normally tell you a little bit about the kitty so that it would be a good fit for your particular situation.
Right. Now you have a listing that's services, but we've covered taking them in adoption and your foster families. What other services do you have?
Another service that we are really, really proud of and has grown exponentially over the last couple of years is our food distribution program. We are very, very fortunate to be the recipients of donated food from a local supermarket, and that food gets distributed here in the Fernley area directly. It goes to the senior center, and it also helps to it helps the food pantry with pet food for their people. We distribute tens of thousands of pounds of food. The other huge food program that we run is the Highway 50 corridor, which is literally everything from Silver Springs through to Dayton. Once again, we do receive donations of food, and we have about 800 families registered in those two food pantries. I'm talking about Dayton Food Pantry and Silver Springs Food Pantry.
Wow. Yeah.
And every month we have one of our members sets up shop at the food bank and distributes food. So that's become a really important part of what we do, and we feel that that's just a huge community help. And then in addition to that, if there are individual circumstances where people have just hit on hard times, or their social security check has run out for the month and they don't have any pet food left, we can always help, and we will always take food to them as needed. So that pet food distribution is big.
Yeah. Well, in years past, when we've had, not here in Fernley, but you've seen, disaster situations and everything, that, they're offering shelters for people, but it's like, well, your pets are SOL, so we can't take them, we can't help you feed them, we can't, they've just kind of been lost.
They have. Unfortunately, I always say that the turning point of that was that dreadful event Katrina down in Louisiana. After that, I think the nation, everybody began to realize that animals are really important to people, and there are a lot of people out there that just won't leave an area if their animals can't go with them. And lives were lost as a result of that, which was really sad. So more and more now, shelters of every type are beginning to open their doors to not only the victims of a disaster or a catastrophe, but their animals as well. At least, if not in the same building, but set up right next door, set up real close, so you don't have to just leave your animals behind anymore. And again, in situations like that, we have members that are undergoing training at the moment to be part of emergency rescue groups that will go out at the time of an emergency to rescue pets and people. And then obviously we would step right in and help with food and whatever it took to be able to reunite people with their animals, or if the animals are in need of veterinary assistance or help in any way, we would like to be there to be able to help.
Yeah, I've also seen assistance with larger animals too, where there were horses and
yes,
yeah,
we're very fortunate here in Lyon County. We have a big horse rescue organization that is very well equipped and very well set up for emergency horse rescue and large animal rescue. And he is based in Lyon County. He was very much part of the Washoe Valley fire situation a few years ago. They rescued a lot of horses there, and and your large animals are just as important as the little ones
yes.
for the people that have them. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, it's they are members of the family.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yep.
You have newsletters that go out 4 times a year?
Right. We do publish a quarterly newsletter, and it's always available online. Again, if you go to our site at www.argonn.org, you can download our newsletters. Alternatively, if you'd like to receive it by email, we can certainly add you to our email list, and you can receive our newsletters that way. We also do distribute them around the community in some of the retail outlets here, and they are available for pickup always. But our newsletters, we try to make them informative. We always try to put in some tips about health or caring for cats and dogs. This last one we did with a big emphasis on what to do if you find a feral kitten. Obviously, we're often tempted just to pick up that kitten that we find in a field. Well, we don't give thought to the fact that mom's probably feral. She's way too shy to come forward and grab her kitten out of your hands. So we tell you there what to do when you find a feral kitten. Leave it alone. Let it be for 12 to 24 hours. If it's still there, if mom hasn't come back, then pick up the kitten, give us a call, and we can come to help if we need to.
Wonderful.
Yep.
Okay, so we've got your website out there and everything. Anything that we've discussed, check it out on the website, on Facebook. I want to thank everyone for joining me today on Small Business Spotlight. I'm Jan, owner of Fernley News Network. Find it all in one place, breaking news and weather, plus instant weather and road conditions. Our main website is fernleynews.com. You can also find us at Fernley News on Twitter and Fernley News Network on Facebook. Our Facebook page is the one you want to check for breaking news, weather, and road conditions. And, of course, some funny stuff because we can't be serious all the time. If you'd like to be a guest on this program, sponsor this segment, or you have suggestions for guests or topics you'd like to hear, email me at radio@fernleynews.com or call me at 775-835-3582, or you can also call the station at 775-404-1115. Thanks again to my guest, Vanessa from ARGONN, and to our sponsor, Liberty Fitness, teaching strength through discipline. Until next week, stay safe, stay informed, and keep your dial turned to 101.3 FM.